Welcome back to Tito's Financial Corner, where we talk about credit cards, points and miles, as well as travel. Today, we're going to go over some great credit cards, specifically for people that have bad credit. And again, there's no judgment. We all have to start somewhere, whether it's because you have no credit or because you made a dumb mistake or life just happened where you are in a bad place, doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to get credit cards. Credit cards are still a great tool to help you rebuild your credit and to put you back where you're supposed to be. Whether that's attaining a great credit score to finally move into your first home, or to have a great credit score to start your own family, we all need to make sure that our credit is set and ready to go. Today, we're going to cover over some great credit cards to get you started in that journey. We're going to cover some secure credit cards where you have to put in some cash up front, but we'll also cover a couple of unsecured credit cards where they would be able to give you the credit limit without needing you to put up some cash on it. So if you're ready, let's go. The first credit card is the Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. There is no credit check that's needed to attain this credit card. This credit card also has a no annual fee, which is great specifically for somebody that wants to rebuild their credit. There is no minimum deposit required. And unlike some of the cards that we're going to cover later on in this video, you'll see that that is a great feature to have, especially if you don't have the cash to put up $500, $1,000, or $1,500. This would be a great credit card to start. So this credit card would allow you to use your own money to start rebuilding your own credit. Instead of a security deposit, the card is backed by the money linked to an account. The next card is the Discover It Secured credit card. There's no credit score needed to acquire this credit card, which again is a great place for those people that are starting their credit journey, as well as for those individuals that have bad credit. There is no annual fee with this credit card. There is a refundable deposit that would have to be put on this credit card. The minimum amount is $200. So once you put in those $200 on the security deposit, Discover would give you a credit card with a $200 limit, meaning that you would not be able to spend more than the deposit that you provided to Discover. And a great niche that this credit card has to offer is that after having the credit card for 7 months, Discover would automatically review your credit history as well as your payment history on this credit card, and they would see if they could graduate you from a secure credit card to an unsecured credit card. And then you would get your refundable deposit back, but you would still have a credit limit with Discover, which again, that's the main goal. We're looking to rebuild our credit with these credit cards. And unlike most secure credit cards, you get rewards with this credit card. That's right, you get multipliers with this credit card. You would get 2% back on gas purchases, as well as restaurants up to $1,000 spent in each quarter. And then you would get 1% back on all other transactions. Discover would also give you the option to monitor your credit. This is such a great starter/rebuilder credit card because it would allow you to graduate to an unsecured credit card, as well as give you cash back rewards while you have the secured credit card. Again, maybe you're not looking for one of those luxury credit cards, but you would be able to get 2% as well as 1% back on your normal everyday transactions. The next credit card is the Capital One Quicksilver Secured Cash Rewards credit card. That is a long title. Just like the previous credit cards, there is no annual fee on this credit card. You would have to put a refundable deposit on this credit card, just like the Discover card, and it would also be a minimum amount of $200 to get you started. You would also be considered for a higher limit after acquiring the credit card for 6 months. So you would be able to get a higher limit without needing to provide additional funds as far as your security deposit is concerned. So for example, your security deposit could be $200, but after 6 months, your credit limit could be $400 or even more. This credit card also has multipliers. It gives you 1.5% cash back on all transactions, which again is such a nice reward to have, especially on a secured credit card. Again, if your end goal is not to have one of the luxury credit cards, that's okay. You would still get 1.5% back on all of your transactions, which again could turn out to be a nice little sum of money at the end of the month, or it could be a great sum of money at the end of the year if you still have the credit card. Capital One would also give you the option to monitor your credit while having this credit card. The last credit card on the list is the Open Sky unsecured Visa credit card. Unlike the previous credit cards that we mentioned, with this credit card, you would be able to attain it without having a credit score, as well as without needing a bank account, which is a requirement for most of the other credit cards. This would be a perfect credit card to apply for somebody that doesn't really have any bank accounts. So again, looking at college students or anybody that hasn't built their history in a long time or has no connection to a financial institution. This credit card would allow you, would open the door for you to start building your credit history. So down the road, you could look at different options like an auto loan, a home loan, as well as a luxury credit card if that's what you want. Now, while it doesn't require a bank account to have, this credit card does have an annual fee of $35. So this is kind of like a double-edged sword where you don't have to have anything at all to get approved for this credit card, but you would have to pay at least $35 to have this credit card. You would also need to put a security deposit to attain this credit card. The minimum amount is $200, while the max amount is $3,000. So, just like the previous credit cards, if you put in $500 down as a security deposit, you would get a credit limit of $500. Unfortunately, this credit card does not have any rewards or any multipliers. But again, it's a great starter credit card. This credit card does report to all 3 credit bureaus, so again, you would be set. This credit card is kind of a last resort. It's kind of like the last option if you can't get approved for any other secure credit cards, whether that's with your financial institution or with any of the credit cards that we just mentioned in this video. These are some great credit cards to help you rebuild your credit and to have you set up in a much better place down the future. But again, you have to make sure that you follow all the rules as well as pay all the payments in due time. Please, the last thing you want to do right now is miss any payments or not pay anything at all. That would also keep destroying your credit. The name of the game on this is to make sure that your credit is all set up down the future. And one great way to do that is to make sure that you always make your payments on time. So again, this is a great starter place with any of these credit cards to set you up in the future. With that said, if you found any information useful in this video, please hit that subscribe button as well as that like button. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Adios.